Hello everyone, this is Paige from Traditional Catholic Femininity. I hope you all had a lovely, enjoyable and restful Christmas season. So a couple of days or so ago, I posted on my social media, my Facebook and my Instagram, about having long hair and femininity and why it is essential if you are cultivating your feminine energy to grow your hair long and take care of your hair, because healthy long hair is indicative of fertility, good health, youthfulness, and of course femininity, your God-given femininity. Now, it doesn't have to be like crazy long, like tailbone length or hip length or anything like that. As long as it is short, shoulder length minimum, then that is considered long. So when I made that post, I got a message from a girl, and she said, hold on. She said, "I agree. However, what can you say to a husband who complains when you ask for money for your nails? I don't mean the ugly, long and expensive nails, just the regular neat ones. I usually pedicure every 2 months. What can you say to a husband who wants the hair long, but he refuses to pay for a shampoo or conditioner? And he complains that even regular brands like Pantene, Dove, or Head and Shoulders are expensive shampoos." What? He said, what? Yes, we want to take care of ourselves, but sometimes it's very challenging because you don't receive any cents from the husband, and I am a full-time wife not working. Wow. Oh my gosh. Wow, that is not challenging. That is abuse. That is financial abuse. Goodness. That sounds a lot like financial control and abuse, I'm afraid, dear reader. I mean, as a stay-at-home wife, stay-at-home mom or housewife, you are entitled to have your basic needs provided for by your husband if you're financially dependent on him. That's part of the agreement. And your basic needs include not just a roof over your head and food, but also your feminine grooming, skincare, hair care, things like that. Those are all part of your basic needs. Now, regarding the nails, if you're having issue with the nails, like, okay, he's not giving me money to go to the nail salon, you can try and do this at home and try to avoid nail extensions. If you're somebody who likes nail extensions, then this will be probably difficult for you. But I don't recommend nail extensions anyway, because it's the sin of simulation, right? It's adding something fake to your body. But also, it's just not, I don't consider it feminine. You just have to think, what would Mary do if she was here today? Would she wear fake nails? Probably not. So on the nail issue, you can do this at home. There are lots of nail care kits that you can buy that would have an emery board, filing, clippers, and things like that. And that's what I do. Just keep your nails short, keep them neat, keep them filed, and maybe add clear or neutral polish on top of them. And that's it. You can actually get your nails done by yourself at home. Now, regarding your hair, honestly, dear TCF reader, you need to have a talk with your husband, okay? I'm a housewife, and my husband pays for all of my grooming needs, including my hair care and skin care. If I'm going to get a mani or pedi, it's only for really, really special occasions, and that will probably be like once or twice a year. And I don't get nail extensions. I just go get them treated and what have you. And I have young children, so I can't really be walking around with like long nails, because it just it can get quite inconvenient. and hard to kind of maintain. And I also play the piano. So it's essential for me to have short nails because long nails can get in the way of playing the piano. So generally, I take care of my nails at home. However, for my hair, I don't have Caucasian hair. I'm black. So my hair is kind of Afro textured, which means it's very thick. It can get very puffy and very hard to manage. But I've learned to take care of it at home. Now, I do understand that with like Caucasian hair or Asian hair, you need regular salon visits to get a trim or add layers or maybe color your hair, because you can't really do this at home without like butchering it completely. And this is where your husband needs to be doing this for you. It's bizarre that he's not even doing this. I mean, on my wedding day, for my wedding, my husband paid for me to get my hair done. Yeah. So your husband should be providing you with the money for you to go get your hair done at the salon every now and again. Now, because I don't go for like regular salon visits like a Caucasian woman or Asian woman would, my salon visits are like once every 4 months to get rid of split ends or something like that. But I do invest a lot in hair care products, because when you have hair like mine, or when you're trying to keep your hair healthy, you really need to kind of, get quite decent hair products. So I do, get quite a bit of hair products. The hair is the glory of the woman, right? And it gives glory to God. So you have to take good care of your hair. And taking good care of your hair is still cheaper than getting hair extensions, which again is the sin of simulation. You can ask yourself, would Our Lady have worn hair extensions if she was here today? Answer is most likely no, she wouldn't. But she would have taken care of her hair. So that's what you need to do. So I invest in my hair care. I also invest in my skincare because I don't wear heavy makeup. I don't do contouring, bronzing, any of that. So I don't even know how to do any of that stuff. I don't wear false lashes. So, my makeup bag is very, very small and very basic, because I prefer to invest heavily in skincare than makeup itself. Because when you prioritize your skincare, you keep your skin healthy. It's much more feminine. You look much more youthful. You look much more beautiful. And it's just overall much more wholesome to have clean, good skin than just trawling on layers and layers of makeup. For my skincare products and my hair care, my husband pays for all of this. He does. And they are not cheap. They're not cheap, at all. But even though they're not cheap, because I go for good quality items, they do last a very long time. Again, because they are good quality items. So in the long run, they are still cheaper because I'm not constantly buying makeup or making constant visits to the salon, if that makes sense. Part of being a provider as a husband isn't just putting a roof over her head and food in her stomach. You need to be providing for her needs as well. And as women, we do have our needs. We have skincare needs. We cannot have our skincare or our hair care like a man does. We have our feminine hygiene needs. And these are the things that if you are a stay-at-home mom or housewife, your husband needs to be providing for you. He also needs to be providing for your clothing. I mean, if you're dependent on him financially, how are you going to get your clothing? So he needs to be providing for your clothing, your grooming, and your feminine care. The fact that this man is only insistent on like the bare minimum is very troubling. I mean, lady, you are not a dog or a piece of furniture. If he continues to refuse, just have a sit with him and talk to him, explaining that with you being financially dependent on him, he has to provide these things for you. Otherwise, just go get a side hustle or a part-time job where you earn just enough to cover those needs, and then you keep that money to yourself. Don't give it to him and don't put it into the house. And if he asks you, well, why are you doing a part-time job, blah blah blah, you just tell him, well, I need to have these things done and you're not doing them for me, you're not giving me the money for them, so I have to find a way to get these things done. It is incredibly abusive and gaslighty for him to say he wants you to have long hair, but at the same time he won't give you the resources to grow or maintain that long hair or even pay for basic brands. That's awful. And men like this who insist on keeping their wives like some kind of piece of furniture, domestic slave, they are the ones that will go cheat on her with some glamorous looking woman. They fail to take care of the vehicle, because that's essentially how he's treating you, like just like an object. The vehicle that he's got in his house, he fails to take care of that, and he neglects it, doesn't maintain it, or pay for its upkeep, and then he goes get another nice shiny car. So you're grooming yourself isn't just for you, it is also for his benefit. And it's just incredibly selfish of him and abusive, to be honest, that he's refusing to do this. It's like saying, yeah, I want to drive a car. I want a car and I want to drive a car, but I don't want to put any fuel into the car. I mean, is he 12 or something? He needs to get a grip, and you need to put your foot down and explain it to him. So I then went to her profile page and I took a look at her pictures. Oh God. Yo, it gets worse. I saw from her pictures that she's probably late 20s, early 30s, and he's at least 20 years older than her. So now you have a much older man who is completely useless at providing for his younger wife. Remember what I always say to you guys, that if he's older than you, he should be, if he's your partner, he should be providing for you anyway. It doesn't matter if he's a year younger than you or a year older than you or 20, 50 years older than you. He should be providing for you because he's a man, right? I even have an article that says the older he is, the more he should be providing for you. My husband is only 5 years older than me, and he provides for me and our family. But this old man, got himself a younger bride. And then he's treating her essentially like a domestic slave. And he does not even pay for like the most basic things that she needs. It's abuse. It really is abuse. And this is why I always warn you people about age gap relationship. The reason why a lot of these red pill men and what have you, passport bros, why they are so into age gap relationship, because they want somebody younger who is dumb and naive that they can easily control and abuse. In some cases, age gap relationships will work, and the older man will cherish his younger partner, which is the way it should be. But those cases are quite rare. In majority of the cases, the older man just goes for a younger woman because he needs a much younger, fresh blood who can take care of him, be his nurse, be his bank maid, be his domestic slave, be his, just do all those things for him. And at the same time, he doesn't do anything in return for her. If you're dating a guy like that, you played yourself, girl. You did. It doesn't matter whether he's older than you or younger than you or your age. You have to be vetting this man from the dating stage. If he's a 50-50 guy, don't date him. And especially if he's older. Like, are you serious? You're throwing your life away for like an old, decrepit, dilapidated old man? Why? Why are you playing yourself like this? I also have an article titled something along the lines of a stingy man will make a stingy husband. I'm gonna put that link in the description below, so do check it out. Don't date stingy men, 50-50 men who expect you to pay. In fact, if you can, just avoid dating older men, because almost all age gap relationships are predatory in some way. Either they want to abuse you and control you and exploit you physically for your body, which is what he's doing anyway, or they want to do so financially, which is what he's doing as well. And when there's financial abuse doesn't happen in a vacuum. A man depriving his wife of his basic needs like this is abuse. So I don't need anybody coming in the comments and talking nonsense. And when so this guy is definitely financially abusing her, because it's deprivation. And abuse doesn't happen in a vacuum. There's always other forms of abuse or control going on. And I promise you, none of that is a trad relationship. No matter what the red pill, fake trad frauds want to tell you, it is not a trad relationship. Abuse is not a trad relationship at all. At all. In a trad relationship, the man, especially if he's expecting you to be the housewife and to stay at home, he has to be providing for you. And he's providing not just the roof over your head and the food in your stomach, but he's also providing your basic needs, your clothing, your groom, your skincare, your hair care. And he will be providing other things like if he has a pension, which obviously he should do, he pays into your pension as well. That's what my husband does. He has his own pension and he pays into my pension, because I'm not working, so where am I going to get a pension money from? But he takes care of my future too. So a guy who's this guy is not providing for her. He's not even protecting her. This is abuse. I'm sorry. So looking at her profile, I couldn't see any signs of children. In my opinion, if you didn't marry in the church, it's not a sacramental marriage, I would divorce this guy. Honestly. Even if there are children, I would divorce this guy. And if you married in the church and the guy is behaving this way, and you can gather up all your evidence of abuse, I will go get that marriage annulled. Yes, you can get it annulled. Even if you have kids, as long as you can show cause for lack of provision and lack of provision for deprivation, and basically him not fulfilling his duties as a husband. So that's something you really need to kind of think about seriously, because this sort of dynamic is an abusive marriage. It's an abusive dynamic. It's not a Catholic marriage. You're not a domestic slave. And it's not a traditional marriage at all, I'm afraid. So, divorce the guy if you didn't get a sacramental marriage. Or if you did, go to your priest, tell him what's going on, find ways where you can get an annulment. And if you don't have kids, do this quickly before the kids arrive. I mean, you can still, go forward with the process somehow, even if you have children and there is evidence of neglect, and which is exactly what he's doing, neglect, deprivation, and abuse. But it might be, slightly more trickier. And I'm pretty sure there are other signs of abuse and control there, so you probably have a good case for an annulment. And stop marrying these older men. Leave them alone. If you have your heart set on an older man, you see, if most people marry older guys because they expect to be provided for, and if you marry an older guy that is not even providing for you, you just play yourself. You need to be vetting this man from the dating phase. See what they are doing and not doing for you. If you're dating any man, older or not, that expects 50-50 on a date, dump him. That expects you to pay for things, dump him. That expects you to be giving wifey, doing all this 1,001 things for him, when he should be actually focused on winning you. Dump him. Don't marry him. Don't marry the guy. Because marriage will amplify and increase all the behaviors that he was doing while you were dating. So for example, let's give an example. My husband never paid for my bills when we were dating, but he paid for every single meal, anywhere I needed to go, he paid for it. Excuse me. Like transport, he would either pick me up or he would, give me like because I didn't have a car then, he would pay for my fare. And after we got married, that behavior increased. He still pays for everything that we do, all our dates, my food, obviously. And he paid for my car. He bought me a car, he paid for it. And he paid for the expenses of that car. And there was a time when we were dating where he paid for my groceries. He just... we were on a date and I went to the shop and, he said, oh, your cupboard's looking a bit bare. Here, let's do a shop together. So we did some shop together and he paid for it. It was at least groceries for 2-3 weeks. And he paid for it. He did that once or 2 times during the entire time we were dating. And after marriage, he still continues to do that. It's amplified. So whatever behavior the guy is doing while you are still in the dating phase, that's going to get much, much more or worse. If it's good, it's going to get even better after marriage. If it's bad, you marry him, I promise you, it's not going to make him change. He's going to get even worse after marriage. So please be careful. Don't date stingy men. Only date provider men. You can tell if a guy's a provider in the dating phase. You don't have to marry him first. And as much as you can, stay away from older men. It can work, but do you really want to take that risk? Yeah. Anyway, so please pray for this woman. If you are in a similar situation, I recommend that you follow the advice that I've just given. And yeah, really, really sucks that there are people living like this and they think that it's a tried marriage or a Catholic marriage. Yikes. It's not. It's abuse. I'm so sorry. And we are all praying for you. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. So before I put this video together, I got an update from the TCF reader. And she said to me, you're right. You're absolutely right. It is financial control and abuse. And I'm going to start looking for a job. And I'm going to look for a part-time or a full-time job. And I think that's the best thing to do, because this man has already broken his vows, his promise, which was to have her take care of the home, be a housewife or a stay-at-home mom, while he provided for her. And he has reneged on that vow, which a lot of manipulative and predatory men will do. They will promise you something, and then once they've got what they wanted from you, then they don't give it to you anymore. So if you're in a situation like this where you just discovered your husband is a pathological liar and he has entrapped you into something that you didn't agree to, and you're in a similar situation as this woman, then can I help you? Where's Daddy? Sorry about that. The little one wanted a mince pie. My goodness. Their father is downstairs, but no, they have to come upstairs to come get a mince pie from me. Anyway, okay, so where was I? So if you're in a situation whereby you discovered that the person you married is a pathological liar and he's already reneging on his vows, and it's a similar situation to this whereby he said, yeah, be my wife, I'll provide for you, blah, blah, blah. And instead, he decided to trap you. and he's not providing for you, then please do what this woman is doing and what I have suggested. Go get a job. Get a part-time job, full-time job, it doesn't matter. And when you do get a job, inevitably you will be tired, right? Because now you have to take care of the house and you're doing a job and you're working outside of the house. So in a situation like this where you're also working outside of the house, pull back on some of the household duties that you're doing, because after all, the agreement was that you will take care of the house and be a housewife and he will provide for you, and he's not keeping up that end of the agreement. So I don't know, maybe if you used to do 100% of the household chores, do only 80% if you're working part-time, or do only 50% if you're working full-time, right? And because men like this, they want to eat their cake and have it too. So they will push you to the point where you have to go outside and work, but then they also expect you to be like a full-time homemaker as well, which is impossible. Your body's just not built to withstand all of that strain. You're not a donkey, you're not a workhorse. So pull back. And another thing I would recommend, because now you realize that your husband is not just a liar, but he's also an abuser, because financial deprivation or withholding money for your very basic needs, it is abuse. Whatever money you're getting from your job, once you go out and you get a job, put a portion of it away into an account that he doesn't know about, because you don't know when you might need it. Right, so open up an account, a savings account or something that he doesn't know about, and just put a little bit of money there every week or every month, however you get paid. Because abusive men like this, when they realize they are losing, first of all, they make you financially dependent on them so that they can have full control over you and you don't have any finances to be able to leave them or to survive without them. And that's when the abuse starts. So the abuse starts, they start withholding money from you. They don't even give you money for your basic needs, like what this poor lady is experiencing. So they will not be happy to know that you have some money stashed away, and you need to stash that money away, because you never know when you might need it. You never know when your life would suddenly be in danger. Because men like this, when they realize that they are losing control over you, and you're beginning to put some money away, or you're working, so you're getting a little bit of financial independence from them, that kind of abuse, they would ramp that up like 1,000 times. So just be really, really careful. And, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Don't let him know of your secret account. Put a little bit of money away every time you get paid. And also take care of things like your pension, obviously. So yeah, it just really, really sucks. And in my view, if this is not a sacramental marriage, i.e. you didn't marry the Catholic Church, and it seems they don't have children, I would divorce the guy or get the marriage annulled, because any form of abuse in a marriage only escalates, because abuse is about power and control. And once the guy once an abusive man realizes he's losing control over you, he will tighten that grip around your neck, up to and including murder. So don't take this lightly. This is just like a tip of the iceberg. You know how I said to you, don't wait to see the fire. When you see the smoke, get out. This is the smoke. These little bits of control, abuse, financial deprivation, withholding of money, that's the smoke. Don't wait to see the fire. So my heart really goes out to you if you are in a similar situation, and please, I urge you to find a way to keep yourself safe, find a way to have some money for yourself, and start planning your escape. Start planning. It will not get better. It will get worse. If it's not a marriage in the Catholic Church, get divorced. If it is in the Catholic Church and there are other forms of emotional abuse and control and what have you present, which I'm pretty sure there will be, because abuse doesn't happen in a vacuum, then you really need to talk to a priest about getting an annulment, whether or not you have children, because abuse is never ever okay, and you don't have to be married to somebody who is abusive. Even if you can't get it annulled immediately, you can move out, get your own place, stay safe from the person, from the abuser, so your life is not in danger. Because I promise you, when a person is this controlling to the point where he's trying to control her looks, her appearance, like he doesn't even want her to take care of her hair, and it's just that's not normal, and that's not a trad relationship, that's not a Catholic relationship, I'm afraid. That's just abuse. And you really have my heart, and I'm praying for you, all of you who may be going through something similar.